When I was 12, my father told me without a shadow of a doubt that God did not exist. I love my dad, so I guess I just adopted his view and his dislike of God. In my 20s, I tried really hard to work out what my purpose was and if there was meaning to life, but I didn't find meaning in careers or hobbies or dabbling in Eastern spirituality. I didn't find it when I got my black belt in karate, wrote songs, sang on stage, started businesses, travelled. I learned heaps of stuff, but it all felt pretty empty. I was definitely on a quest, but looking back on it now, I had no real idea of where I was headed, just a young head full of dreams and aspirations. I was married in my 30s, started to have children, and thought that I had finally discovered the career that would make me happy and to give me the purpose and meaning and the wealth that I craved. I devoted 5 years to university study and then worked frantically to try and climb out of my parents' lifestyle trap of working 24/7, while all along drawing closer to that exact routine myself. And in my late 30s, I started to realise that it just wasn't enough. Money, yes. A big house, yep. Travel, yes. Living overseas, yes. But purpose, no. Meaning, no. Contentment, no way. Happiness, no. And I'd already outright rejected any notion of God, especially the God of the Bible. And if you'd asked me about purpose and meaning then, as an atheist, I would have told you that there was none. No God means no ultimate meaning or purpose. I agreed with Richard Dawkins, no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but a blind, pitiless indifference. I turned 40, had 3 beautiful children, a perfect house and the dream location. In short, I had exactly what I wanted, the lifestyle I'd worked so hard to create. This was it. I was all set. And yet my marriage was starting to fail. My business was starting to flounder and my search for meaning was starting to feel more like I was running away. I was not so much on a truth quest, but a selfish happiness quest. Foolishly, I thought that if I could make myself materially happy, then everyone around me would also feel the same way. But instead of finding the joy that I thought would surely come when I set foot on that beach, my toes lapped by those waves, rod in hand, fish beckoning, instead came the terrible realisation that I was little more than a speck on that beach, insignificant and very much alone. I've been having strange visions and dreams for many years, and there were a number of times when I probably should have been killed by illness or accident, but was somehow protected. Ask me about them sometime. They make for great stories, and for nearly 40 years I put all of it down to coincidence and luck. It was not until I was sitting in the first of what would be many counselling sessions that my eyes were finally opened. I was trying to explain some of what I had been experiencing and feeling really foolish about this increasing onslaught of coincidences and luck. And that is when it happened. The counsellor out of the blue said,
"It sounds like he has been pursuing you for a long time."
And that was the point where everything changed. I'd been carrying this terrible burden of self-expectation and a genuine belief that I could do it all on my own, that with enough effort and time and perseverance and training and skill and maturity and yes, money, I could do it. I could definitely do it. And yet here I was, strong and capable, sobbing pitifully in front of the counsellor. I'd always had the sense that I was a misfit, never quite fitting in. I'd always felt for as long as I could remember like a vagrant, not really belonging anywhere either. Not to the country I was born in, not to the city that I lived in, and now, in my humiliation, I realised that I was broken and empty, and that my eyes had been opened for the very first time. You see, I had turned my back on God. It happened such a long time ago when I was just a kid. And despite being given many opportunities to turn to Him, I had always refused. I was rebelling, running away. I wanted to be God of my own life. And now I'd been found out. Not in the way that a father might chide a son gone astray, but like the father who, knowing that I was lost, never gave up on me, never stopped calling to me, never stopped waiting for the moment when I would return to Him. And that is what happened. It was something like uncovering a chink in my armour that had always been there. I had clarity for the first time in my life. Yes, He had been pursuing me all of these years. even when I had been trying to get as far away as I possibly could. And he waited for me. I cannot describe to you the pain that I would go through over the coming months. My brokenness was being thoroughly revealed. I had built this hard outer armour as a first line of defence. Arrogance, pride, greed, self-righteousness. These outer shells needed to come off. And in the coming months, I experienced the piercing pain of being stripped bare, like having those outer shells cleaved from my soul. Raw and broken, unprotected and incapable. I was a misfit, a vagrant in God's world, and despite my flagrant disregard for Him and His creation, He chose to reveal Himself to me anyway. Why am I telling you this? Because I kind of know just what you're going through. The brokenness, the hurt, the sense of emptiness, and the inkling that there is something more. I'm telling you this because you're right. You are a misfit and a vagrant, just like me. And I get it, being a misfit is difficult, but it's also a big part of your journey to get to this point. You're on a quest for meaning and purpose, and you are going to find it in Him. The one who loved me enough to keep coming and coming even while I was running away, sneering and mocking. Perhaps like you. The one who loved me enough to pursue me for 40 years. Always there in the background, protecting, nudging, encouraging, and waiting until I was ready to stop running and instead to turn to Him. And when I finally did, to be held so tenderly in His embrace for the first time, knowing that I had found the truth, or that the truth had found me, and that I was secure, not because of who I am or what I had done or what I could offer, but because I was finally ready after 40 years of brokenness to relinquish myself and all of my pride back to the one who created me. And that is the good news. That for people like you and me, who are outwardly strong and capable, outwardly wise and courageous in the eyes of the world, that you and I can ultimately find true strength in surrendering to God. The God that takes the misfits and gives them value and purpose, and takes the vagrants and gives them a home. This is the God that I follow with everything that I have. The God that has called me to invite you to seek and to follow Him also. Did you know that when Jesus selected His first disciples, they were nobodies in a backwater region of Judea, in an otherwise forgotten part of the Roman Empire? He didn't call kings and rulers, not the noble nor the famous. Instead, He called fishermen, tax collectors, the misfits, and the vagabonds. And Jesus shaped His disciples, and then He sent them out to call others to follow Him also. There is no coincidence that you are watching this video now and have gotten to the end. You are being called. The question is, will you answer? And let me invite you into a simple conversation. Here are the next steps you could take, because I know that you are curious. So email me. Let me have a go at answering your questions. You can email me at alex@sanctuarychapel.church. And in the meantime, you can listen to our podcast or tune into our Sunday live stream. Each step is going to require courage and a small step of faith. But let me encourage you to take both as you consider the most important question that you will ever ask. Who do you say that Jesus is? Because as it was said to me, let me say it to you. It sounds like He has been pursuing you for quite some time. Hi, it's Alex here from Sanctuary Chapel. Thanks so much for watching. Are you seeking your own sanctuary? Perhaps I can help you to find it. Send me an email and let's talk. If you're anything like me, you'll have lots of questions. I don't have all the answers, but I know where to look and how to help you to find true sanctuary. I look forward to speaking to you soon. God bless you, and bye for now.